Okay, well, welcome to the talk. This is a talk about a tool that we made with the Wikidata team. It was released a few months ago, and the tool is to check mismatching data between Wikidata and external databases. So what is the mismatch finder? It checks that the data, for example, can be imported to Wikidata from external sources like Music Brains, for example, and then maybe somebody edits the data in Wikidata and then it's not in sync anymore with the data it was coming from, and it can be that it also gets updated in the external database and it's not updated in Wikidata. So this creates like a mismatch between the two sources, and we have created a tool to address this problem. So how does it work? First, if you suspect or like that there are like some mismatches between your database and Wikidata, you can run a script or like find ways to create a list of mismatches. And then these are to be uploaded to the store of the mismatch finder. I will show this in a moment, and then get these mismatches to be reviewed to say, okay, where is the data wrong? Is it in our database? Is it in both databases? Because that can also happen, or if it's wrong or in the external one. So I'm going to start with the website because it's a bit more visual. So this is the address if you want to experiment with it and you want to check it out. So how the website works. So you have your list of IDs that you identified that have a mismatch with an external library, and you enter them here separated by an enter. If there are mismatches in one of the or any of the introduced mismatches, you get this list of the properties where the mismatch is happening. In this case, for example, you have here like this is an example that we took. This is not like real data because we don't have Wittgenstein in Music Brains, I guess. And there are the options, no? You can say, for example, like by default, they are awaiting review. And you can like say, okay, the data is wrong on Wikidata. It's wrong on the external source. Both are wrong, or none of the above, which means like the data is probably correct and maybe there was a mistake in importing this data to the mismatch database. So we have also created the gadget to make this a bit easier. So, I sorry, I put them in the wrong way around. I show you how the gadget looks like. If you install the script that I will show you in a moment, that flashed pretty quickly, in your common JS script, you can see, for example, that there is in the database, there is a mismatch for this item, no? And then if you click inspect, you will be redirected to the page where you can see like all the options for like selecting which type of mismatch it is. So this is the how you can put the gadget, because this is just if you are interested in checking the mismatches. It's not available for everyone. This is a screenshot of the scripts that I have installed. Is the second one. You just need to like literally like put this, go to this address, the special my page common, and then you just paste this import script user Guergana like this, or you can add like this mw loader load. And then you will have this gadget working in your Wikidata. Okay. So again, the store. So how does the data get into the store? Well, this has to be manually uploaded. So for getting access, the users need to log on with the Wikidata credentials. to be able to generate a token, no? And this is how it looks like. For example, here I'm logged in. Otherwise, it says like login, and then you log in with the Wikidata credentials. And you get these two tabs, and you get this token, and this token will be flashed once, and you have to copy it and save it somewhere in the computer, because it's just like, for security reasons, we just have it once. And then you will have this token to access the API, but this doesn't include the upload permission, because of course we want to make sure that, like, I mean, not data that is like verified is getting in there. And if you want to get an upload permission, you have to write to Lydia, which is the Wikidata's product manager. I think we all know her. Hello, Lydia. Or create a fabricator ticket. That's maybe the best option. Requesting upload rights. You just add in the fabricator the mismatch finder tag, and it will get to us. Using the token, this is for like if you have curl, or if you are using something like Postman. You can do operations like uploading a mismatch file, the one that you need the permission for, or you can do the reviewing of mismatches through an API. You can like maybe want to write a script that automates this or something, instead of using the website. No. And this is a part that's a bit more technical. This is just so you have like an idea of how the process is like. Like you have to include in the headers like the token that you obtained, and like put this data, like accept it's a JSON, and then like the type of data, the content type. And then you in the body you have to like put this, fill out this data, and it includes a CSV file, which this is a screenshot of like a example CSV file, sorry, that I had, where like here you have all the like the statements, the property that is mismatch, and the value in Wikidata, the one in the external source, and the external URL. And with this, then we have the mismatches to be shown in the website. So if you want to find more information about the mismatch finder, and also like get the link to the code, to the GitHub repo, you can check out this website. Like this is the official documentation for the mismatch finder. And that is everything. Thank you so much. And if you have questions, you can, I guess, write them in the chat. I need to unshare to see the questions though.
Yeah, I actually already noted a few questions that people have about the mismatch finder. Thanks a lot, Guergana. So the first question is, are there any plans for the mismatch finder to notify the external database of the curation events in Wikidata?
Maybe I kind of heard that there is a mismatch finder, let's say, update coming. Like we will develop more features, but I think this is more like a question that the product team, aka Lydia Pincher, can give to you. So yes, maybe Lydia can.
I can talk a bit about it, yes. So we do have plans to work on the mismatch finder. Right now we're working on a new version of the special new Lexeme page, which is almost done and ready for release. And the next thing is the second version of the mismatch finder. And the second version of the mismatch finder will include a random button, so it's easier to get mismatches if you don't know which mismatches are available in the store, because that's a bit hard to know. And we will improve date handling, which was something Marco asked for rightfully. So those will come as one of the next things. To get to Andre's question about notifying, there is already now in the workflow, when when you review a mismatch and say it is an issue in the other database, then we already ask you to notify that database. That can be built out. What I was thinking is to make collections on Wikidata that these providers of the other databases can monitor, similar to how, for example, the German National Library does this on German Wikipedia. But if people have other ideas, I'm happy to hear them.
Cool, thank you. So we had another question. Yeah, we had a question from Marco about what's the status of the dates handling. Is there anything else you can say about this? Maybe Lydia?
Yeah, it's one of the things we have to figure out for version 2 now.
Okay, cool. Then we had a question from Nikki. Should the script be made available as a proper gadget, which would, for example, allow people to find it directly from the preference? Lydia says yes. So basically, this transformation from a script to a gadget is something that is in the hands of the community. So I guess it can happen, indeed. And Andrew is asking, if I would upload a mismatch using the API, am I also able to fix the mismatch, meaning fixing it directly in Wikidata? Is there a preference between fixing or noting?
Sorry, what is noting? Noting what? I didn't really understand the last part of the question.
Maybe it refers to the labeling the mismatch, basically saying it's an issue.
Since the databases are not connected, you can either, like, if you notice a mismatch on Wikidata, you are encouraged by us to fix it in the moment. But like if it's on the external database, we don't really have control. So we have to this is like a reporting tool. So what we have in the end is like a report of what is wrong. That doesn't necessarily mean that we are automatically fixing it because we don't have the connections to the external database. But if you see something is wrong, you can, of course, update it in Wikidata. Please.
So yeah, that was my question. I initially was asked to provide some use cases of mismatches, and my experience was that every time I ran into a batch of mismatches, it was equally easy to fix it in Wikidata, but then to upload it to the Mismatch API. So I find it difficult to use the API or to see the value of the API. However, when it's a single item, yeah, then in my experience, it makes sense to upload it to the mismatch finder. So that's my question. If you have a batch like 1,000 items or 100 items that are mismatched, the amount of time to upload it to mismatch finder or to fix it to me seems the same. So that was my question.
I think Lydia has a direct answer.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you are very familiar with both Wikidata and the other side and know the topic, right, then yes, it's probably much easier for you to just fix it right away instead of going through the mismatch finder. This is really more for larger scale automation where you automatically check and you cannot automatically determine which side is right, let's say. So for example, right now, the first set of mismatches we had from Mike Peel was between Wikidata and English Wikipedia, right? And he basically looked at local data that English Wikipedia has and their equivalent in Wikidata. And when they weren't the same, then it was uploaded to the mismatch finder for some subset of the local data that English Wikipedia still holds. And that was way too much to really go through it by hand for one person, especially as it was spread out across many different topics, where not one person has all the necessary background knowledge, right? So that is more the area where it's helpful. And the other point is, I think we can still do quite a bit to smoothen the process of getting mismatches into the mismatch finder as well.